Sure. Oh. Yeah. Something.
It's like you these days.
Hey, yes,
Getting the hang of it.
I'm learning more every day, so that's a good thing.
That's good.
Yeah, good. I am actually having a person that I'm working with from the open house that I did for you on Gary Street. On Gary.
Yeah.
We'll see if they ever stay in town long enough. They travel a lot. They're retired and then they want to move closer to their daughter. And so it's like, okay,
Yeah.
we'll see. Like I say, they're not exactly, Speedy Gonzalez here, but maybe eventually they will. But it's going okay. Like I say, it's just learn day by day.
Yeah, for sure.
Am I gonna be it?
Jacob did say he was coming and that was gonna be on Zoom, so he's ever watching it there. But yeah. And we kind of, what we do is it's kind of like a role play. I just go through what I do in a listing. Basically.
Okay, great.
It's not really a teach, and then like, what do you want to get out of it?
I think what you're gonna do is really great. I think that just seeing somebody in action, being able to do and like maybe what the other person, would say, to you back when you're talking, that would be great. And really just, making sure that I understand, oh, these are all the points that I need to touch on, or these are the things I need to, make sure that I, point out as my value that I'm offering and those kind of things.
Gotcha. Like value. You know, if anybody.
You.
What are y'all doing?
There is, Terry's giving a listings presentation.
Listing appointment.
Maybe I should do that since I have. I have my first one ever. I don't know.
That's what she's saying.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
How's that swing?
It's rusty right now.
It is. What?
Aw. See, that's what I love about pickleball, we endorse.
True.
Hey there, how are you? Good.
How to unzoom it. Yeah, to,
Oh, they're like someone else was doing.
maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. So. Really, what would you like to get out of the? I already asked Deborah. I just want to know what it is that how you do it and any obstacles, like when you come up with obstacles, like if you're going up against somebody, where do you want to be in the process? You want to be first, you want to be last? You know what? You want to be wherever, you just want to be there.
Well, no, there's several rules of thought on that, so. Really, it's asking, do you want to be first, do you want to be last? So they say if you're skilled enough, you want to be first because you're going to get the paperwork signed. I feel like I'm semi-skilled, but I kind of like to go last.
Okay.
And then get them to sign, but
Okay.
it sometimes doesn't matter.
Too on who you're going up against and who the listing or who. I guess the source of the listing appointment.
Okay.
Because if it's an expired or canceled or for sale by owner. You could be first, you could be last. It's kind of really more of a crapshoot. Now, if it's sphere of influence, first.
Okay. And then, yeah.
It should be the only. Yeah.
And then how are you handling, like, I just given this morning, the guy, and he said, I'm cutting my commission for 4%. And the people said, give me 4%. I said, well, how are you gonna split it? They gonna take 1% as a listing agent and offer the buyer 3% or what? And she said, no, I think it's gonna be 2 and 2. And I said, you know, it's human nature. I have to be careful what you say. So I don't wanna say the agents aren't gonna show your 2% list house over 3% ones in the neighborhood. But, yeah,
But they aren't.
well, it is true, but can we say that?
No,
I know, not with the lawsuit stuff.
but you can always say, you know, like in several situations, if someone was going to give you $2,000 for selling a house or 10,000, which one do you think people are gonna go to?
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, yeah.
Mhm. You're gonna get more traffic in that one.
Yeah.
Just like with my leases, I feel like I get more traffic in my leases and they go faster because I always get 50%.
Always give 50.
I get so irritated if they're lower than that.
Yeah.
They're all lower than that.
What are they,
Yeah.
30?
5, there's an agent that does 100.
Which is ridiculous.
Yes, I called him up and asked him, I asked, he does it all the time, and I called him up and asked him if that was a mistake. He didn't.
To get people to work the house.
Because like if your client wants to see it and you're kind of stuck if they love it, you just have to get the money from them. Who is it? I think it was Tessa that you always would get a deposit up front with rentals. And then she would reimburse them if she got the full total of what she was. It's actually, they're committed to you because lease people say they're gonna work with you and then go off and leave. Yeah, I found it.
Yeah, all the time. Yeah, well, this lady said, well, you know, he said that the buyer's agents anyways, they're getting all their leads from people looking stuff up on Zillow and, so I just pulled out what you wasn't sure before about what all the buyer agents do for you, so.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah, let's see. Okay, so before I even start, we have like a listing procedure, like what we do from the very beginning. Like, I send like, it's like a checklist. So like Terry sends Zoom invite to listing first to that person. So if it's a Zoom, if it's not, then it's a calendar invite. So we do that. So set up the appointment that way. And then once I have the appointment, we've got the calendar invite. So then I've got my folder with all my little goodies in it and everything all there and all my stats and paperwork. And then the seller has their folder that I bring that's got like a seller checklist. Got a net sheet, I always do a net sheet. They really like to know, and you just have to kind of guess at their payoff. I'm actually really good at it, but guessing at their payoff, I have no idea. There's no rhyme or reason. I have no rhyme or reason how I come up with it, but it just happens. And then I just put the other fees in there of what, like it's got the listing broker fee. You can get it off Netris. Yeah. So, but I've actually won listing appointments with that because they've liked it. They'll go, oh, you had the net sheet. That's really great. Because that's really what they want to know. They want to know what their bottom line is. Excuse me, ma'am, you can only come to one class.
So you get the net sheet specifically or?
So it's,
It's blank, but
You have to fill it in, you get the sheet there.
yeah. And you just have to calculate the title, which if it's under $1 million, it's 0.00527 minus, what is it? There's a calculation to it. Like you take $100,000 off
So
and then times 0.00527,
That's if it's $1 million.
less than $1 million.
So, yeah, on here,
Go to finance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
just starting from the top, we go to finance, seller's estimated net proceeds. And then from here, you'll click in everything that they have.
And one of the good things about this, like, if you show them, Jack, on here, there's, because you don't really know, you have a general idea of what their house is gonna be, but you don't totally know. So I can put in 3 different prices.
I want to give you a net sheet for each.
Yeah, it'll give you 3 different ones.
And you've just been kind of doing a best guess on what you think that they owe on the
Or
house?
do you do a?
Because I know,
Yes.
I know,
Well,
I would give you something, but that's going away this weekend.
yes, I seriously do. So like if you pull up somebody's tax rolls, like if you just hit somebody, it doesn't even matter.
Going to the.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, I wanted to keep this, no.
What are you doing?
Going into it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's just anybody who doesn't. Yeah, let's go to a big one.
That's my old neighborhood. Good. Yeah.
What?
To go to history.
What do you do? History for what? So then, I come down here and I look, okay. Oh. Okay, so in 2020, they took out 500,000. $500,000 mortgage. So in my mind, I'm thinking, well, they've owned it, not even 4 years yet, so three full years. So they're paying mostly interest. I'd probably do 475, 480. Just whack.
So sad that after 3 years.
Yeah, it's not gonna be much at first, and then it starts taking. And if you're not, you can always change it, like they go, oh, no, my payoff, we make 5 payments extra, a month or whatever per year, so.
Hey, can I ask you a question, something you're looking at? So in fact, that was the house directly behind our house, in the neighborhood. So the lot sold it in 4/17/2023. That what it looks like. They bought it. I knew they bought it in 2020 and then they sold it in 2023. But the mortgage history is of the lots, not of the newest ones.
So they probably pay cash.
Okay,
Well, we'll know here. So if you go down to the bottom on this one,
yeah,
it should have. Oh, no, you know what? This is,
he's turning around selling it in less than a year. No, not.
23. You'll go to the year of 23 and then it'll show buyer financing cash.
Oh, got it.
Yes.
Yeah, yes, okay. Yeah,
So they bought it for 1.75.
and what's he having in the market for?
699.
175, yeah, what he bought it for?
No, he's got it for 1.7, I think, right?
Yeah,
Or no, that was wrong.
Patricia, what do you do in yours? What is your, do you have a PowerPoint?
Oh, I just go through, what do you mean, like, with the
Like-
numbers?
Yeah.
Yeah, the worksheet I got that from title,
Uh-huh,
and I do a net sheet,
uh-huh.
and I'll. give
So is it
them
like this one, or do you do like more, a more detailed one?
more detail.
Okay.
Because they're gonna give precise numbers that they seen, and I already talked to the seller, they tell me. So then I can give them 3 different pricing, that I'm thinking,
Yeah,
but I'm not gonna show it to them.
well, that's another idea too, like if you had that conversation with them, you can always ask them, do you mind telling me your payoff and I'll do a net sheet for you, so then you don't even have to guess.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, you can just ask them, and a lot of times they will know, and if not, I'll say, hey, I'll get you an updated one with the number. So.
Oh, then you said you do 3 different prices, at like how sell prices, okay.
Interesting. Yeah, okay. You ready?
Yep.
You did. Well, I just kind of showed them one,
Yep.
so.
Do you show them your CMA as well?
Yeah, everything, and I can give a range, I'll show you on here too. Let's take it from the very beginning, just like we would do it, just like Jack's gonna be the seller, right? You wanna be the seller too? Mr. and Mr. Seller? Okay. Not.
Oh, hello, Terry.
So
Come on in, Terry.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. Coming over.
nice to see you.
You too. You
11 o'clock and we had an appointment 11 o'clock and it's 11 o'clock.
1:14. Yeah, no,
Well,
happy.
You were talking. This is gonna be fun.
Would you like to take a seat?
Yes, thank you.
Perfect.
Thank you for having me over. Yeah. Sure. Oh, Craig, thank you.
Does it on its own.
Lindsay's joining us on Zoom. Isn't that sweet? I can act right. Your wife is watching. Okay. Well, I usually have the laptop right here. This is confusing. It's okay. It's okay. I can do it. Okay. So, Jack, thank you. No, you take your laptop. I do. Okay. Yes, yes. Do we have a clicker?
Yeah.
Okay. We talk on the phone. Yeah.
Oh, Miss Seller. Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Great.
Mrs. Jack, we spoke on the phone. You were saying that you were looking forward to moving
Yeah.
and being in your new house by April, right?
Yeah,
You needed a bigger house because you're having more children.
sure.
Yeah, good. That's good to know. Well, I want to just share a few things with you. And if we can walk through, I need to click right thing because. Is it at the park? Okay. I just want to tell you, just to kind of get you up to date on what's happening in the marketplace. So, and if you look at this slide, this is showing the 4% trend line. And with that, it's just showing you how houses are staying very steady. They were staying steady for a while, then COVID hit, and then the demand went up, and so the prices are going up. So that just kind of gives you an idea of where things are, just overall market.
Yeah. And Terry, I know back in 2008, 2009, dropped. Was at above that line. Do we see that happening again?
It's possible with what's happening, and I'm just gonna go over here, so we'll do it this way. I think this will be easier. Let's find the sound,
Oh, no. I was told
the
that
clicker.
Oh. Yeah.
That's fine. That's right here. Okay, so that's my seller's clicking. Okay. It's okay. Okay. And I wanted to explain why all the why we have a shortage of inventory. So if you look at this slide, you can see that for 10 years, the builders underbuilt. So if they're supposed to, this is nationally, if they're supposed to build 2 million houses, 1.02, and you see for 10 years they underbuilt, they're saying that we're not going to get back up to the level that we need to be, which is 1 million until probably 2030, 2030. So, yeah, so that's why there's a shortage of homes, and there's still a shortage of homes this year too. I'm just letting you know what's happening with the price.
Graph above the trend line doesn't show why we are above the trend line last year or this year.
Yeah, but they're still not to the level that they were. Yeah, in the,
prices.
not back up to the trend line. Yes, yes, well. And there's another thing to understand too. Since COVID, pre-COVID, since 2020, Texas is, home values have gone up 49.2%. 47.2. 47.2.
Everything up all of last year.
That's right. That's why everything's an investment. Yes. And here's a good thing to know too, because in 2023, last year, existing home sales were down 18%. So there was a deficit there of, you can see that really was the worst year for home sales, since they're not really sure yet because the numbers aren't totally in. They're thinking since 1993 or 2008. And 2008 was when the crash hit and all that happened. So the sales were very low. So, but the new home sales are up. So if you look at that, look how much the new home sales are up. And this graph right here will show you both, not only the existing homes, and usually if you see that, like the existing homes are way down in inventory, and then the new builds are up. So builders are taking off. But when the interest rates went up, then what happened was when interest rates went up, everybody just kind of held on. And they go, I can't, you know, they were pre-approved for 3, because that's what you guys saw. They were pre-approved for 2 and 3, and
Or 4 and 5. And
right,
it dropped it down to.
and
2
then
and
everybody
3,
went,
when
oh
it
no.
From 3% to 8.
Mhm. Yeah. So just, you know, on our team, everyone gets listings and things, but I handle the listings and then they handle the buyers. So if it's their client that they got the listing, they'll go with us and then we'll kind of do it together. But then after that, they don't really have to communicate. They can if they want. It's just.
So it's
Here-
fun when they do communicate and I'm like,
Yeah, well, we have to do the
I don't
handoff
know.
and they keep going back to them and I'm like, yeah, but that's okay. I mean, they have the relationship with them, so it's kind of trying to keep it together. This is just an interesting one to know, really and truly. I'm kind of doing this instead of talking to you. I'm just showing you this only because you just need to know that there's pent up demand out there. Because, I mean, people are still having babies, you know, look, 3 million marriages, 1.5 million divorces. So what does that tell you?
issues.
Probably, yeah. Marriage counseling. And then look, people are turning 65, they're getting older. All these things are reasons people move. Yeah. So in other words, this year should be very good because for 2 years, the sellers haven't been selling and inventory is down. So we're looking for a little bit more for that.
Terry, when you said this year, is that,
2024?
well, is it first quarter, second quarter? What are y'all saying?
Well, the interest rates are supposed to be coming down. So the Fed has already said that they're going to lower interest rates. And so once they, I think March, I think we talked to our mortgage advisor and he said they're probably going to stay the same in March, but in June should see the big dip.
So what do you tell to people who want to list right now and sell, or people who want to buy right now?
Yeah, you don't.
They also want to, yeah, but they also want to wait for that dip. I mean, then I don't want to say, well,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, you just say, we don't really know. They could lower them in March,
Right.
but then if you wait till when everybody lowers them, everybody else is going to throw their help.
You'll have more competition.
It's really the same conversation. Year of like, if you decide to wait and you're against, goes back into multiple offers because there's 1 million, 2 million, 5 million more people looking to buy at
Yeah.
5% versus now and then refinancing.
Right. Another important one too, like with this 50 million job switches, we have a lot of, what are they saying, 1,000 people move into the DFW area every day. That's a lot. So that tells you there's a lot of people looking for jobs. I mean, it's just a great area. It's kind of like what Mike said earlier today. It's where we couldn't be in a better place. All right, so this is just showing, Jack, I just want you to see that Keller Williams, we have more buyers and sellers than any other brokerage around. So to you, that just means that we have a bigger net, we cast a bigger net, so we have co-op agents that we work with and our whole market center that we help advertise and drive to yours. All right, so I just want to give you some local stats for you. And what we do is we pay attention to the homes that are on the market because that's your competition. So right now, like people are moving into Plano, they'll kind of usually stay around the surrounding area. So in Plano, Richardson, and Frisco, there's 659 active homes. And
A lot.
it's actually very, very low. So, well, in Plano, there's 242. In the middle of COVID, I saw it as low as 70. But in the good old day, it used to be 600, 700 houses. Yeah. So within a mile radius of your house, there's 12 and only 1 in your neighborhood. So you only have 1 house that's competition. So can I show you that house?
Sure.
Which is the next one. There's only 1 house. And as you can see,
Can I interrupt before we move on to the next phase? Do
Mhm.
you ever come across any sellers that when you're going through the statistics, they're just kind of glazed over or they just say, no, just move on, or, you know, 'cause some people like statistics and other people don't.
Right, you gotta kind of play it, like if they, there's another thing that you can do too, so like if you feel that they are just gonna move forward and you ask them up front, you know, what's important to you, and they say, I just wanna know what my house is worth, then just go straight to the,
Okay,
don't even bother with the
Okay.
fluff if they
so you
don't.
do kind of adjust
Mhm.
depending on what you
Yeah.
feel for.
Yeah, if they're glazed over, I just kind of quickly,
Okay,
I just want to know that I inform them, and whatever they do after that, they can, but you
Okay.
definitely don't want to do a dog and pony show and they're like, you know, falling asleep, so, yeah. And this house is down the street and it's sold for 700,000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's about 300 square feet bigger than yours. And as you can see from the pictures, you know, it's a little bit more updated.
So we can get 700?
Well, we'll go through those numbers in
Okay,
just one
alright.
second. But what I'm saying is we have to pay attention to what is active because that's your competition. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. All right. All right. So this is just what we call our scorecard. So we're actually selling houses at 101.2%. So what that means to you in Plano, it's at 2.7% under. What did you say? 100.101.
Okay.
I
Cool.
actually just did those numbers. Yeah. And 20 days on the market. In Plano, it's 98.5 with 35 days. So what that means to you with your price home, I'm saving you more money and also time. Okay?
Gotcha. Cool.
Mhm.
Looking forward to it.
Now, Jack, these are the homes that have actually sold. So we have to pay attention to that because appraisers are going to, when we get offers on your house, appraisers are going to use the competition, the houses that have sold, right? So we just have to pay attention to what's sold to make sure when we get an offer on your house, not only do we have to price it right, but we need to make sure when we get an offer, say if they do decide to go over, that they can pay the difference between what it appraised. That was a big conversation at first, wasn't it, for a while? You had to really pay attention to what had sold and how much money that person had to come up with. So with your square footage, the lowest you think sold is, you know, in the 300 to 400 range, and then the highest is, you know, 5 to 524. So did you have an idea of where you wanted to price your house?
I mean, probably 525, 550.
525, 550? Okay.
That's pretty great.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, I think it's nice too. And what's important to you about getting that 525?
It just helps us get on to our next house, and have
Mhm.
some equity into it.
Mhm. And you did say that you needed to be there by April, right?
April 1st, for sure. Yeah, April Fools.
Okay, April.
Yeah.
Okay, well, and if you can see the 5 homes that sold an average of, you know, at 99%, anywhere from 2 to 69 days. So
Gotcha.
with your price at 525, which is at the top of the, you know, the list of homes that have sold, and it's not as updated as that one, because I showed you the one that
Yeah.
had sold. Yeah. If you
Well, I
look
mean, we
at
can
that-
always drop it later, right?
You can, but can I give you an idea of what happens when you do that? Yeah, you're more than happy to price it wherever you want to price it. I may or may not choose to take your listing, but if you look here, this is a great report because this is showing that houses that were listed and did not have a price reduction sold at 99.1%. All the houses that had a price reduction sold at 91.1. So if you, you want to go at 525, but buyers are not finding your house, the value, the condition and value is not going together, then say you take 10% off, where are you? You're at 475.
Where do you recommend?
Now, what chart are you showing right now?
For chart masters. Mhm. Yeah. I would suggest, Jack, that we go like right at like 499 and get it below that, or right at 500.
Yes.
Because then that would hit the 475 to 500 or 500 to 525 brackets when people are searching.
I suppose that works.
Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. That was nice, thank you. Oh, you know what I left off? I usually, before I forgot to do this, when I first meet them, I have them fill out the seller survey. And then I walk the house real fast. So we have a seller survey and then. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Assistant, right?
He would love
That's my information sheet that I keep for myself and write down the note. And when I walk the house, I put the improvements. So I just a whole step, so sorry. Okay. Okay, Jack, well, let me just tell you a little bit about what we do to get your home sold. So, we're one of, Dave Ramsey's endorsed local providers.
Okay.
So that's just saying that we've been vetted. You have to have a certain years in the business, have so many sold homes. And so that's just, for us, we get buyer leads, which will help you sell your house. And then the other thing is we're a certified international property specialist, so we can put your house on the international multiple listing, which will give us more buyers, more exposure.
You have to get a lot from
Actually, not a whole lot. But we have sold a house sight unseen through another country.
Cool.
Mhm. And we also have the certified negotiation expert designation. So that allows us to negotiate when someone, gives you the offer. And if it's multiple offers or whatever it is, we can negotiate and let you know and guide you through that. And then also when they do the inspection that's during the option period, then we can help negotiate that to maximize your equity.
Yeah, we wanted to use you because we heard you were kind of with the lead when it came to negotiations.
Okay,
So
thank you.
Make sure
That's
that we
good. I'm gonna take that as a compliment.
capitalize on our equity.
Yes, well, I try to make sure it's a win-win for all parties.
Always.
Mhm. But you, of course, you're my main.
Yes.
And then this is called an 89-point marketing plan. So with this, it's, we're really emphasizing on our social media and going on those campaigns and also, our photography. Photography is super important. So,
So I can't take my photos.
if you would like to take your own photos, feel free. We'll go ahead and take ours and you can kind of compare them. And if you like yours better, feel free to use. Yeah.
What about the sunset? Will they get that?
Yes, I'm gonna get all the details from you of everything that, why we like to get all those, what they call peripherals. So what you like in your house, what someone else just walking through it can't see. So like if it's a great sunset, if it's, just something like it's easy to walk to the store, all those different things that you like about your neighborhood. And then, so we have what we do powerful prospecting where we're doing the circle prospecting around the neighborhood when we house in the market and also when it goes under contract. And then really one of the big things, and we do have a stager that can come in and just kind of let you know where things are placed. She doesn't actually bring furniture and things in, but she'll let you know she's looking at your house like a buyer would. So she'll say, hey, move that couch this way, get rid of the stuff on the counter, no more than 3 things on the counter or things like that.
You guys have a stager on your team?
Yes. Mhm. Well, not on our team. We hire.
They'll hire it out.
Separate, yeah. So, and some people need them, some people don't. We haven't really used her a lot. We've had some really good sellers, yeah, they've cleaned up. Because we kind of walk them through and then we also in their packet.
It
And
kind of depends on area and price point a little bit as well. On
Mhm. Yeah. In
Is
their
it gonna be
packet
useful? Is it gonna get most of it out?
is a seller checklist, a home seller checklist. And that. And you guys can have copies of any of this, whatever you want. All of it. All of it. All of it.
We'll just have your folder.
Yeah, and so. In that is just kind of, it's every little thing you can think of, whether you're showing your house or getting it ready. It's got all those little things that, because when you live in your house, you're not looking at it like you are as a buyer. So it's pretty. Okay. And then that is really it.
You said $150,000 marketing budget.
Yeah, whoa. What was that?
Well, that's really for everything that we do.
Yeah,
Okay.
All of our stuff, our events, all that kind of.
yeah, exactly.
And then also the other thing that's good to know, like if there's a house and we feel like it's bigger than what the tax rolls say, or they don't have any documentation like an appraisal or something like that showing the square footage, we'll say to them, have you had an appraisal? Like, if they say, no, well, we did, but we don't have anything on it, then we'll actually have a guy come in and just measure. And almost every time except one, we've gotten more square footage. So that's kind of a good thing to do.
They'll do that if they haven't had a recent appraisal.
If I just feel like it's bigger than what it is, you know how when you walk in, you go, oh, this feels a lot bigger than that.
Yeah.
Or if they don't have anything, you know,
Saying what it is.
yeah,
They added a.
oh, yeah, so they added something, right? Yeah. And then, so really, Jack, the next step is that we will, have set up the photographer. And so they'll come in, unless you want the stager, would you like the stager to come in? We can set that up first.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, yes, it's free of charge, nothing to you, so, all right, we'll have her come in and she'll do her thing.
Okay.
And so we'll schedule that first and then give it about 3 days. And next week, okay, for photography?
Perfect.
Okay, we'll do that, we'll set that up on Tuesday. And what we like to do, oh, I'm sorry.
No, I don't wanna
Okay.
You're good.
interrupt.
Well, once we do the photography, then we really do like a week, we do coming soon. And then put it on the market on Thursday night, like release it, once you've agreed to all, everything. And you've okayed it, and we've tweaked it, and we've made any change that you want to see. And add, make sure we didn't miss anything on your peripherals. And then once we do coming soon, release it Thursday night. And then we don't have any showing to hold it until Saturday. And that gives up buyer demand.
We can beat your village.
Well, it is best not to, yes. Just because, you know, buyers will run in and run out because they don't want to inconvenience you. Yeah, and they want to make comments and say things, so with you being there, it kind of makes it a little fun easy. Yeah,
Fair.
I know it's hard to get the 5 dogs and 6 cats out, but if you can, that would be great.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh, sure.
yes, and just assume everyone's got cameras, seriously,
Yeah.
like. I don't know.
You said you hold it for a week and then, so that.
If we can, we can't always do it, like if someone's like delayed us or it's quick, we can't, but we do. Put it on Thursday night and then hold it till Saturday. Do you guys do that too?
So you are doing a coming soon until on MLS, is that what you're saying?
Mhm.
For those days until Saturday? Oh, it's going live.
It goes live Thursday night,
It goes live Thursday night.
There are some out that
For 7 days,
if I can.
and you can.
Yeah.
and you-
Seven.
That's when you do like pictures and things like that, getting all the info.
No, we don't have the pictures, then we do it. Yeah,
So you put it live, but you're holding it for, you're not letting anybody see it until.
yeah, but not long, just enough to, just that.
Yeah.
So it can hit all the websites and everything and everybody can see it.
So can I ask about the staging? So you, are you just providing the staging consultation for free? And then if they actually want staging, they're having to take care of that themselves, or is that something that y'all are
Like
offering?
staging as far as bringing the furniture and stuff,
Mhm.
yeah, we don't get into
I
that.
mean, because that can be really expensive,
Super expensive.
but you're providing the consultation with the staging for free.
And if they want that, because I've had sellers in the past want that, then I give them to a company that they can. They can
or
do it.
recommend virtual stage.
And it's usually like a fee monthly usually, or like I think some of them might do it per item, but usually it's like a monthly fee.
You'll prefer for that.
I haven't done it in a long time. I really haven't.
The sellers just clean up, make it look nice and go on.
We virtually staged the houses.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And we really. It's, and
Yeah.
we've been.
What do you pay the person that does the consultation?
$250.
Okay,
And really, if it's somebody you're gonna use all the time, you can work something out.
Yeah. yeah, especially if they have their own staging business.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, yeah. Okay,
Paperwork.
yes, okay. Oh, that's right. But I do need you to get you some, thank you, Craig. Appreciate that.
She was doing all those small closes. She was getting all those, yeah,
Saying this is.
just getting those yeses.
You're right, you're exactly right. So. Jackson, this is our listing folder. We've got all the information and you can see I've got a net sheet here for you. And this is just showing the three prices we talked about. So this would be the one. Is that you're pretty close to your payoff?
Yeah.
Oh, great. I guess right again.
A little bit lower, I mean. Yeah.
That's nice. So you'll be netting that much. And really, these are just the seller customary fees. So it's your title fee, your escrow fee, but just remember on your tax part of it, you're gonna get that back. So seller's customary fees really are your title, the realtor fees, and then really the home warranty. Those are kind of the things, but all of those are negotiable. Right now, this is what I've just, well, on these other ones, yes, the home warranty and the, yes. Yeah, but that's nice of you to ask. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
Thank you.
Okay. And then this just tells a little bit about our team, you know. Yeah, they're special. Yeah. They all have special license plate. And that parking.
Cowboys.
Yes, yeah, yes. Well, we were, they killed that dream again. They killed that dream again, honestly.
3 years in a row.
Do things one thing, but. So. Are you ready to move forward, Jack?
We'll see, yeah.
Here you go. Thank you. So this is just, you know, really want to, you know.
I think you've been an easy seller.
Working.
Yeah, well, he's
We haven't gotten to the
sphere of
picture.
influence.
Yeah. Oh.
That's why you want to work with your sphere. This is information and broker service saying that we can represent you as the buyer, the seller, do what's called intermediary. So intermediary would be our broker owns the listing. And so if someone in our office, so let's just say the boys on our team actually have a buyer for your listing, then that's where it'd be intermediary. So I would represent you with confidence and with confidentiality.
So if somebody from your team did bring a buyer, we would pay them less.
Not necessarily because you're paying our broker. Okay, you're paying our broker at the 6%.
So can we do a different, if it's both of them?
Can you do a discount if it's both sides?
On the fees, if it was your
Well,
team.
let's talk about that in just one second. Okay, sure. All right, so you're the seller. Lease. And so you're the seller, buyer, and then over here, we've got the 3% as the broker commission. And so 3% or 6%, 3% on the list side and 3% on the buy side. And then when you were talking about intermediary, the intermediary would be the only way that we would do intermediary if it was somebody from our office, correct? Yes, and then you would actually have to sign off on it. There's an intermediary sheet that would go along with the contract.
Yeah.
And you would know that at the time, so you would have to agree that it's intermediary. Okay?
What if I don't?
Then we're gonna get
Buyer.
Yeah, we're gonna sell it. All right.
Let's do 3% there. So if I'm buying with you, is there a discount? for the
If you're
list?
buying, you know, we can definitely give you some sort of credit on the buy side for sure. That we can do on we can help you with those fees.
Oh, you'll do that if he lists and then buys with you?
Oh, we do, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, we typically,
Depends on who it is.
yeah.
Usually Sphere and people we know
Yeah.
Mm.
have.
We've been doing,
Okay.
yeah, we've been doing like a half. It's time when we do one.
They're like multiple
Right.
referrals and giving us a lot of business.
Mhm.
Do you wait for them to ask, or this is something that's standard?
Unless they're really, really good clients that we just offered up front. Oh, I wait for them, that's for sure.
If they agree with it, they agree with it.
Right, yeah. Because even with this last one that we did, they didn't ask, and this is probably the fourth house I've sold.
Wow.
And,
But the thing is, most of the ones don't. Like,
yeah.
It's the ones that don't know you well that ask.
Or it's the ones that really. with that really pound you on the commission, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you, Jack.
Yeah.
Press you. 3 copies, thank you.
What's your average days on market?
20. They're going up. We were
Been too persuasive.
or 3.
You haven't been.
Listen.
Yeah, there's a few, there's things that I tell him, so say like he insisted on selling higher than I wanted. So I just let him know, I go, okay, Jack, we can price it there, like if you really want the listing, which listings are hard to get by, right? Or get with right now, so if he insisted on pricing, I tell them, okay, we can price it here, just know that these are the numbers that I suggested. And that's not where we think it's going to sell, but sometimes you never know, it could. You really didn't know, like when the market was really good, you really didn't know, it could go.
You couldn't. underprice it.
You could overprice it, you actually could overprice it.
No, I'm saying you couldn't underprice.
Correct, you cannot. And I don't think you can still underprice the house. We're waiting to do one for $1, but no one's let us. We almost did it.
Who is it?
It was for,
Oh,
Yes.
yeah,
she was gonna let us and,
well, and the one in, the Colony.
yeah, that one we really shouldn't have done, no,
Yeah.
that one worked, yeah. So,
She's like, don't talk about that.
well, no, it's kind of a fixer-upper.
Oh.
Yeah, so you don't,
You'd have had 100,
I wouldn't have been able to deal with it, like,
like.
Oh, wow.
Awful.
yeah.
Would it go for 225?
Oh, too soon, you sold it. Not too
I did.
soon.
Yep.
You had the buyer.
Was that with Derek?
That was, like 3 months ago, how'd you forget, 5 months ago? Well, there, or whatever this.
Well, to be fair, he only met the client on the phone.
Oh, you did your open house. We did your open house. Was, the renter of Vandal. And took him to worry.
I did.
Oh, Baxter, angry text.
Story, like, he thought he was gonna buy it. And so all along, he was.
Fixing it up.
He was.
Oh, he was spending his own money to,
It was at least to buy.
10, 15 years ago, and then he kind of dropped the ball, and anyway, yeah, that's why, yeah. So
Then
it
Couldn't buy it.
was- No, not good. Where were we? Oh, if
In the
you,
weeds.
yes, so if you decide that you want to price it at the 520, 550, wow, okay, that's quite a bit over.
Well, I was just looking at the other house. He said it's bigger, but
Sure, so if you decide that, you know, you're stuck on 550, just know that 550 is not going to get you to, you know, your new house in April. Because your days on the market are gonna be longer, because if you see 69 days were on the market for the ones that were, you know, not fully fluffed up.
gotcha.
Mhm. Yeah.
Well, thankfully I don't have to sell before I buy.
Oh, that's good,
Yeah.
that's good to know, okay. So 3 things could happen. We could have a lot of showings and a lot of offers. Or we could have a lot of
That's what
showings.
you want.
Well, yes, that's what we want. At 550, I don't think that's gonna get the desire that you want, but we can try. 550, I mean, a lot of showings, a lot of offers. The next option, we get a lot of showings, no offers. And then the third option, we get no showings and no offers, or very few showings.
And that's just the market
Yeah.
being down.
If that happens, then we just have to totally revamp and revisit where we are.
Up the marketing.
Because we know our marketing works, but the only thing we're testing is the price. That makes sense?
Sure.
Okay.
That was very good.
All right, well, thank you. All right, well, I will send you an email with all the things that suggestions we had to the house that you could do, and yeah. And then, yeah, and then we'll get the email for a stager and then the photography. So we'll follow up on all that.
Awesome.
Okay, thank you, Jack.
Thanks, Terry. Let me show you out.
Okay. Oh, Jacob knows.
Happy
So-
birthday, Jacob.
Happy birthday. To you. Did I miss anything?
Yeah.
How soon do you drop the price when it's, when you know it's overpriced?
You're gonna kind of know in a couple weeks. Really, truly.
So do you ever, so I've heard of some agents, and so I'm asking if you do this, do you ever, talk about that, like when when the seller wants to list at a price that you're like, oh my gosh, what is he doing?
Mhm.
The 550, do you ever address the timeline for a price drop whenever you're there at that initial, like, obviously, like when they sign the paper or
Mhm.
whatever, they're agreeing to list with you. Do you address it then, or are you always waiting until, we didn't get anything, so we need to?
Well, I have actually got an amendment at the time of the signing to say, okay, in 30 days, yes. Yeah, 30 days, and it has, especially with days on market going up a little bit. 30 days, if it hasn't, then we're dropping it to 500.
Okay, it's good to hear another input. I took a GRI class and the person instructing it, she was like, man, I get that addendum up front,
Yeah,
so they
Show
know.
them that chart master chart.
right, like if you
The,
guys have it in our investors.
list price to sell price.
I mean, that's a telltale. If you kind of go through that stuff and it tells you, and it'll give you the exact price range of, so like in this situation, 500 to 550 was 15 days on the market. But if you had a price reduction, it's 44. So, I mean, it's pretty clear because there's really less than 2 months inventory in that market. The other thing that I use this for is if I look at this and go, okay, they're on the border of going, 550 or 525. I'll look there, okay, 500 to 550 is 9 days. Like there's 20 houses on the market, then there's 17 in that one. Or the inventory for 500 to 550 is 3 months supply versus 1.9 in the next category. Although you really kind of want to be there. And just kind of guide them a little bit. I think the more stats you have and the more you can talk about the market, then the more you're convincing them, you're giving them knowledge and facts, and it's hard to fight that.
Well, it takes it off of your opinion.
Yeah.
You say, look, this is what the market says. That one price reduction or, 14 days on market, your price, that you're gonna get is going down.
Yeah.
And if you're okay with that, then that's totally fine.
Yeah. That's why really getting in this market, you really do kind of have to be skilled. So starting where you're starting is good because you don't know any different. Versus coming in when everything was great and then you're turning around and having to learn all that again. When I started, things were good, and then I went through the 2008 and stuff where things were on. So I got very good with sellers just because you had to. You call them every week, regardless of you have good news, bad news, give them the market, what's going on, that kind of stuff. Because you got to keep your sellers happy. Yeah.
Thank you.
It was great. Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Did you get another tip?
Thank you for teaching.
You're funny. You're funny.
Same Corey picture saying, I'm in McCoy presentation on how to sell an Anderson.
Yeah. Did you guys want anything to?
Two,
Yeah.
sold two about there.
He's fine with the food.
Uh-huh. Yeah. They should have done this today.
Maybe if I watch the presentation.
Well, we changed a little since then.
You have a good stage here?
You would?
You have a good stage?